Look me up in the yellow pages. I'll be your rock of ages. You see through fads and your crazy phases. Yeah. Little Bo Peep has lost his sheep. Then he went and fell asleep. The dew is wet, but the grass is sweet, me dear. Your mind gets burned with the habits you've learned, but with the generation, we are the generation that's got to be heard. You're tired of your teachers and your school's a drag. You're not going to end up like your mum and dad. So come on, let me entertain you on the Skinny Jean Gardner Show.
Facilia. Or Pacilia, if you just read it off there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on.
Oh, I can't hear you, Anon. I've done something wrong with the thing. Anyway, Elephant Poo is what I got.
Good evening, Lee. How are you?
Great, mate. Your signal is always terrible, but I'm good, my friend. Excuse me. You got an allotment? When I go, don't put artificial grass on top of me, alright?
Are you going to get composted, Lee?
Yeah, Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. It's Monday. Yo, what's going on? Hello. How are you doing, everyone? My name's Lee Connie, Skinny Jean Gardner. Welcome to the show. We're about Monday to Thursday, 8 till 10, bringing you the best of, and also the not so best of, the gardening world. Giving you guys a chance to call in. And you can call in any point tonight. Any point you want. Mondays are a free day. Mondays are totally free. We had a bit of a schedule, not even a schedule mix-up, not even a schedule remix. We've just put a schedule in, which, here, do you want to know it? You want to know the schedule? Mondays. It's for free for all. Come and get involved. If you've got one of these bad boys, if you've got a VIP card, you can come on for as long as you want. VIP cards still available. We've only given away 8 out of 50 VIP cards. All you got to do is call in, and then we'll let the group decide whether you deserve one. If you're a regular caller to the show, you'll get a VIP card. Mondays are free for all. Let's mix it up. Let's jam. Let's chat, not literally jam. Let's chat gardening. Tuesdays, we always have an interview, which is cool. Very excited for tomorrow's interview. We'll announce that later on in the show. Wednesdays, we talk a bit of kids gardening. We've specifically said on Wednesdays, that's when we're going to do it. Specifically said Wednesdays today. Mainly because we could quite easily talk about kids gardening 4 days a week. Well, I personally could, of course, so. Wednesday's the day for that. And then Thursdays, after the massive success, if you missed Thursday's show, the great success that was, it was ground force, but we found that people wanted to mix it up a little bit. So Thursdays, we'll be watching a classic episode of a gardening program you desired. We're going to watch this Thursday, if you're about, we're going to watch a episode of Ground Force with Titchmarsh in this time, because I waited 40 minutes on Thursday for Titchmarsh to turn up. Turned out he wasn't even in that series. So there we go. But I hope you're all well. Coat's on tonight. First time in the last 5. I think this is the... Does anyone know how many weeks we've been doing this now? 5th week we've been here live chatting. Oh, the phone lines are open. 0742 357 4520 if you want to call in and chat. You can also be zapped into the conversation at any point you want just by clicking on that link that has just gone into the comments. First time the Coat's been on in the studio. A bit chilly in here. I feel like maybe we should get some heat in. Just maybe. I don't know. I hope you had a good weekend. We had a bit of a wet one. A bit of a rainy week. Was yesterday all right? I can't remember. Was yesterday okay? I think yesterday was okay. No, it was wet, weren't it? So it was wet yesterday. Had a bit of a rainy one. So not great. We did something which I know Mr. Suggett, I've just seen pop up, and I think he mentioned it last night. I mean, because I wrote it in his live show. By the way, I'm here Monday to Thursday. Richard and Sean. So Richard is at 6 o'clock with the Veg Guy podcast live, and then at 7:30 usually is Mr. Sean James Cameron. Go check them two out on a Sunday. Fill-in Sundays over there. I'm not sure Sean's changing his up yet. I don't know. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, a bit of a wet one. Anyway, so what we decided to do was actually Olive went to. So you're probably going to see a few pumpkins pop on my gram if you follow me on Instagram if you want to, which I've not grown. We actually only grew one successful pumpkin, which I'm very proud of. Now I'm not really sure which one it is out of the 20 that was brought from the pumpkin farm. But we spent the weekend pumpkin picking and then painting. Some of them we're going to eat. Let's just clear this up now. Some of them we are going to eat. Some of them we are going to paint. And some of them we are going to carve. So, bit of something for everyone there. Bit of something for everyone. Do realise the pumpkin debate cracks on with, is it a waste? The answer wholeheartedly is yes. It is a waste to grow a pumpkin, just to paint it up or just to carve it. Should be probably promoting a lot more that we should eat them. I'm not really quite sure how we can. I wonder if. I don't expect to talk about this tonight. I wonder if we painted pumpkins, but can you still eat them afterwards? Just paint them for the night. Is that really going to affect it? If you obviously you'll have to peel the paint off. I think it's going to be a nightmare. If that word does, it won't really work. Anyway, there's got to be options, isn't there? I've seen people, as I go around already, I've seen people proudly putting out their homegrown, I'm guessing, pumpkins on the front lawn. Maybe that could be a new thing. Maybe we could start that. Grow it, proudly present it on the front. Your best one. Proudly put it onto the front lawn. It's an idea for next year, but I can't really promote that now because I've literally just spent the whole weekend painting them. Said to Oliver, can't carve them yet, but so there's still time on them ones, guys. There's still time. Right, let's see what people are saying in the comments. Hey, if you don't want to call in, that's absolutely cool tonight. As many of you regular listeners know, I can chat for 2 hours if we have to. But I'd rather you call in. Don't get me wrong. But you can also comment. Commenting is always very much welcome. Gets the conversation started. So let's see who's about tonight. IBs. I wish I knew IBs on Twitch. I can't remember if I know who that is on Twitch. Twitch is well later than Facebook. I think it's delayed on Twitch. I think that's the problem. And I think YouTube is even further behind that. And then I think Twitter is in the middle. But just so you, if you're watching, just know that literally what I'm saying now is coming to you 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, maybe sometimes a minute later. Which confuses. Steph, hello, how you doing? Mr. Suggs, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the show. Weeders Patch, hi Lee, thank you for the book. The kids love it. Can you give Charlie a shout out as he has been poorly and is watching you on his daddy's iPad? Hello, Charlie. Good evening, mate. How you doing? It's very funny, actually. Today I've edited up a podcast. If you don't already know, this is the live show. But if you want to hear the best bits, you can listen to it on the Skinny Jean Gardener podcast and all good podcast apps. Today, I edited up a podcast, which literally was that phone call that we had from Charlie and his sister, Rosie. When they got stuck in their nan's front room. So, best bits. Best bits right there, team. Best bits. No worries. Book is still available now, everyone. Go on to Amazon. Go grab it. It's only $9.99. But I thought after that horrific lock-in that maybe they needed a book to help him out. No worries. I hope you enjoy the book. Thanks so much. If you can let everyone know about it, that'd be really great. Dan's in the house. Hi, good evening, everybody. I saw Dan last night on Sean's show. Now, I'm not saying there's a problem with that because I always go on their shows too. But he also had, I thought that Dan's awful signal was just for this show. No, it's worldwide. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Dan's Kitchen Garden, everyone, on the show. Also, he did some onions at the allotment today. Watch this space. Charlie's been putting some onions in. Nice one, Charlie. Good job, mate. Good job. Sean's going to go monthly, I believe. Oh, okay. Sean's shows goes monthly. So anyway, 100 billion%, guys, every Sunday. He's never been away. He even did a show on his anniversary. He even got a way of doing a show on his anniversary. What a brave man. Mr. Richard Suggett is the place to go to the Veg Row podcast on Sundays. But Sean's going monthly. Okay, fair enough. Right, Ian says, pumpkin chat, guys. Paint a poster. Paint in poster paint and wash it off later. That's not a bad idea, is it? That is not a bad idea. I'll be honest with you, I've painted it in non-poster paint. But not a bad idea. I've just seen who IB is. Ian Beddoes. The Beddoes is the guy from Twitch. I don't know. You had Twitch. Was it because of me that I forced you to have Twitch? Remember that time I was just doing Twitch? Now we're everywhere. We're everywhere, team. Okay, Sug says, can you bring a copy of your book Thursday that I can buy off you for my niece's birthday? Sure, I'll even sign it. I sent a copy to Spain the other day. Signed. Signed, sealed, delivered. It says he missed Sean's last night. Well, you're here tonight, Ian. That's all that matters. All that matters. Oh, okay. So, in the news this week, gardening a lifesaver in lockdown, according to the Squire's Garden Centre survey. So let's take a look straight into some news. Well, they said they've released the results of their gardening during lockdown, which we all know, and we have had quite a few people, a bit like Lisa, isn't it? The interview today has just gone on the audio podcast from Lisa. A bit like Lisa, where she created her kitchen garden. So they've done a gardening during lockdown survey. The recent survey of over 3,000 people looked at how much gardening people did during lockdown in spring 2020. I know a lot of people, even my friends got involved a lot. Come down, cookie control. The overwhelming finding was that gardening was a lifesaver in lockdown. They've just decided 100% lifesaver. I felt like it was a lifesaver for me. With 93% of people agreeing or strongly agreeing with this statement. Gardening became sanctuaries for many people during lockdown, said Sarah Squire, chairman of the Squire Garden Group. We had an amazing spring weather, which helped everyone get outside and enjoy their gardens. And with fewer cars on the road and therefore less noise, people were better able to notice the joys of nature. Birdsong, bumblebees, butterflies, and glorious colours of spring flower and plants. I feel like we've talked about this a lot, haven't we? About these about the best parts of lockdown. The reason I sort of bring this up is because I'm not sure about where in the country you are and what's going on where you live right now. But I do feel, I don't like getting like political or into this sort of thing or putting it down on it. I do feel that we could possibly do another lockdown in the next month or two nationwide. And I think that it'll be a very different lockdown to what we had back in spring, mainly because of the weather. Anyone that had a garden I felt so lucky. I keep talking about that all the time, about how lucky I felt about having a garden. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I feel like we could possibly have another lockdown. And what is that going to look like for everyone here? Like, obviously, everyone that already gardens is great, but everyone that sort of got into it is a lot easier to get into it, isn't it, when it's sunny outside? A lot easier. Will it be such a lifesaver? That is the thing, isn't it? Will it be? Let's read on. Let's check this out a little bit more. On the wildlife thing, we've talked about that a lot as well. 100% noticed it a lot more, didn't we? 100% missed that a little bit. Like, we still got a lot of birds in that about, but it just doesn't seem as many. Like, now the cars and everything's come back again. Even the hedgehogs. I even feel like we haven't got as many hedgehogs all of a sudden. They've sort of, I mean, you know, there should be a little bit about still, right? Anyway, let's read on. With more time spent at home, having people spending a lot of time in the garden, the survey found that 77% of people did more garden during lockdown than they ever normally would. A massive 33% of respondents said they did over 10 hours of gardening each week during spring 2020. What if you're Mr. Saga? You would have done probably, I reckon, pretty much just reverse it. No work, 42 hours a week of gardening. Compare that to spring 2019, when only 9% of people did more than 10 hours. That's a big jump from 9 to 33. During lockdown, understandably, everyone was seeking something colourful and uplifting, so the most popular varieties were flowering plants such as bedding plants and cottage garden plants. 89% of people questioned in the survey said that they planted these. Vegetables were the next most popular choice, planted by 59% of respondents, closely followed by herbs, 40% planted, and shrubs, 42% planted. When asked what they plan to plant this autumn winter, bulbs were a clear winner, with 71% of respondents planting them right now. Bedding and cottage garden plants were still popular too, with 50% of people planting them, followed by shrubs, vegetables, herbs, and fruits. Lockdown has made people more confident gardeners as well. Spending the extra time, 25% of people said they are now feel more confident gardening during than before lockdown. Majority of people questioned, 50%, also said they will spend more time in the garden this autumn than they did last autumn. So my question to you tonight is, do you think that you will spend this autumn more in the garden? That literally doesn't make sense in the English language, but you know what I'm saying. Do you think, because of what we've been through this year, you'll spend more time in the garden even over winter? The reason, like I say, is because I do feel like it could possibly be another lockdown. And also, I've recently just talked about a campaign that I wanted to do this year, but it might happen next year instead, about getting kids out in the garden more over the winter. I mentioned last week that I had a good old tidy up of the garden, and I've told her mum afterwards. She said, "Mum, garden's closed now, closed for winter," and that really like set my mind racing and made me think, it's not closed. We can still do stuff out there. Partly I'm to blame in this situation, because for many a year I've talked about closing down the garden, being a seasonal gardener, and this is the first year I've actually started sowing some seeds and continuing to plant up bits and bobs in the garden to keep it rolling, to keep it rocking. I didn't actually close down the garden, as much as I'll have thought, well, this is closed down, just put away a few seat covers. This doesn't mean it's actually closed. It doesn't mean when we can't get out there. But I wanted to know from you guys tonight on the show, what about you? Are you going to continue growing? Are you going to continue gardening throughout winter? And if you've got kids, are you going to get them to continue being outside and enjoying the great outdoors? Because I think it makes a massive difference. It makes a big difference to our mental health. Not that I talk about that a lot on there. To children's mental health as well. I mean, even today, just sitting out in the garden and working made such a big difference to me sitting in the office. Such a big difference. It got really made me think. Gardening channel with Ray is about. Good evening, Ray. How you doing? Winter lockdown is too good. Hold on. Winter lockdown. Oh, I see what Ray's saying now. Winter lockdown would be good, and then he can get his winter jobs done. So actually, Ray's looking at as another little break, which is one way of looking at it, I suppose, Ray. One positive way out of all the negative that is happening around that. Suggs says he did 10 hours a day, and I can well believe it. Every time I spoke to Suggs on the old blower, he was always gardening, always down the allotment. Weirdest Patch says me, Charlie. I think Charlie said yo earlier. Yo, Charlie. How you doing, man? Tomato seeds are most popular, says Ray. I can well imagine we had a lot of tomato plants grown this year, which is pretty cool. Ian's gonna plant some snowdrops in his baskets. Good idea or not? I think I love a snowdrop. I haven't actually. Would like to actually. I think Ian mentioned about planting up in the lawn. I wouldn't mind doing that in the lawn possibly. That would be quite nice. I made my beds bigger, but now work busier. I'm not so sure where I'm going to find the time now. It's one of the things. It's one of the things, isn't it, that we talked about, whether people getting into gardening, and obviously it was a good thing, but we had a lot more time, didn't we? A lot more time, and now we're all sort of a little bit going back to normal. Not normal. It's nothing's normal at the moment. After meetings today, nothing's normal, but now we're busier. I think it's a better way of putting it. Now we're a little bit busier. A bit like Ray made his beds bigger. I was very apart from the big project I did, actually, if anything, I made my growing area a little bit smaller, a bit more manageable. Because even though I knew that this year we've got a lot more time, I'm hoping that I'll be busy next week. Not next year. A lot more busy. Here's a man that's always busy. Mr. Richard Suggett.
How you doing, buddy?
Hello, dude. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Yourself?
Good, man. I've just chatted for 23 minutes straight.
Yeah, I was charging my phone, so I couldn't come in any sooner.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've just first official day off work today for the next couple of weeks.
Do you know what? I was going to call you today, and I thought, you'll be at work. I totally forgot it started today.
You're probably lucky I was in IKEA for most of the day, so you probably would have got through anyway with that building.
Why, mate? Why do you do it to yourself? Why does everyone do it to themselves on their time off?
Oh, well, I got it right in at the beginning and, kept the wife happy because she's got a new light out of it. So, bought things for the house to keep her happy. That gives me the rest of the 2 weeks to spend in the garden.
There you go, mate. You're sorted. You've cleared your one day of work.
Yeah, there is a method to my madness.
For sure, man. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, we had my nieces over for the weekend, and they absolutely love going out in the garden and getting involved in the garden. So
that's good.
Yeah, it was really good for that.
Did you?
Really good. Took them down to the allotment on Sunday.
Oh, cool. What did you get up to?
Mainly, we were weeding. We sowed some broad beans and we sowed some peas,
but
mainly weeding, which I was quite surprised how a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old seemed to actually get stuck into the weeding.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I think it's more they just like spending time with our uncle, and we made a game of it, and they had fun.
Oh, that's lovely, mate. Nice
Yeah.
one, dude.
So yeah, that was rather enjoyable.
Yeah, I need to. I don't think Olive's done weeding before. But I could probably count on one hand how many times she's done weeding in the garden. She's getting maybe a bit too clever for it now, mate. Maybe she's like, nah, you forget it, do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was pulling out the couch grass, so we pulled a lot of it, and at one point it looked like it was just covered in grass, and then when we pulled it out, you could see the soil. So perhaps they could see the difference, which made all the difference.
Yeah, instant gratification.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So what's this week hold, Richie Rich? What's the plan?
Well, I put a you might have heard of the supporters members podcast last night, where I'm basically planning this week to spend the time in the garden. Got a bit of tidying up, bit of clearing, and start building the new shed.
Yep.
And then next week, the plan is to spend more time down the allotment and get that cleared and ready to go, ready for the winter.
That's good, mate. That sounds like the perfect 2 weeks off.
Oh, it does to me. I mean, my plan is more sort of cleaning and tidying and getting all those little jobs done.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think I said last week on this show, during the winter I see it being as perfect time for infrastructure jobs.
Yeah.
So the building of the beds. If I can get everything else done before then, it gives me that time over the winter to do those big jobs.
Yeah, definitely, man. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah, I feel like, but do you know what though? I feel like I've done. I mean, it's not the same for me because I've not got an allotment anymore. I've just got growing areas, but I feel like I'm pretty much on top of everything at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at any of your photos or Instagram videos for a while, but I have to have a look. But what I've seen and what you've told me, it sounds like you're growing quite a bit again this year.
It's all going
for the first time in the winter.
Well, I'll be honest with you, it's mainly down to your little club. That's kept me going, mate. This is my first. I always talk to you about this, don't I? My first year of doing something, because it is. I've always talked about seasonal. I'm a seasonal gardener, and I've got the softest hands in gardening. But but this winter, I'm out in it, mate. I'm happy to be.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, I was going to say, or I shouldn't say this till Wednesdays because we're not talking about school kids or getting calls, school kids in gardening. But I kind of think if you start your gardening when the school term starts, you're living it while preaching about it.
You're living it. I like that. You're living it.
Yeah,
it's a good point actually. One I didn't really think about. But it's part of the. Well, like you say, we're not allowed to talk about
that. No, we'll save that for Wednesday.
Oh dear, mate. Well, I'm looking forward. On Thursday, we're going to be co-hosting together.
Oh yes.
And I'm looking forward to. I mean, sorry to anyone that's watching up north who's getting hammered by lockdowns and stuff at the moment, but I think we're all right to see each other, mate.
Yeah, we're in the safe zone, so
safe zone.
We're okay. We've just got to be socially distanced somehow.
Yeah, we'll social. I'm going to bring a 2-meter rule with me. So
I think as long as we don't face each other, we're technically working.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is true. Actually, we are technically working, so we should be all right.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't really see anyone, so we should be okay, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm well looking forward to that, and yeah, it's one of those things at the moment. Like I said, like I've been talking about some campaigns that could not be happening next year, and just trying to remind people, isn't it, that this feels like a time of year when less and less people are talking about gardening.
That's definitely the case, but I always think that's a shame, and I think this is a time of year we want to be talking more about gardening, because gardening is always about thinking ahead and thinking to the future.
Yeah.
So, I think like now, as I said, I'm starting to get myself ready that I can do all the jobs over the winter, and come spring, I've just got to plant stuff. But at the same time, things like our overwintering broad beans or our cabbages or our onions or our garlic, that can all be planted now, so it's ready and growing in time for next year.
Exactly.
And I think I've also said on the podcast that I feel the gardening year actually starts mid-September, not March like the media portrays it. I feel it starts mid-September.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? Everyone portrays that as the kicking off point. Come Feb, March,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see everyone start popping up and raising their heads above the gardening tools. But
Yeah.
it's not necessary. It shouldn't really be the case, should it? I mean, we always go back to our gardening centre chat, but had this not been portrayed so much in the media about gardening just being pretty much October, we're done. Basically saying don't go out in the garden now. You're done. Close it up. If that had not been the case, then garden centres wouldn't be full of. Actually, I don't know what they're full of at the moment. Christmas stuff, generally, isn't it?
Yeah. Come the end of September, everything goes out the way, and Christmas stock starts rolling in.
Yeah, a garden centre local to me.
Yeah.
I can't name it because I'm not 100% sure if this is true. This is the old rumour mill, mate. Rolling. It has the best Christmas area there. It's basically known for its Christmas area, but it gets so busy there that obviously this year they can't do it, and they are selling off all their plants and they're closing down.
Is that the one I know of?
You've never been there,
right? Okay. Okay. I was going to say that's quite surprising if it's the one I was thinking of, but as it's not.
It's not that one.
But I think that's the trouble. I'm going on to our garden centre chat. That's the trouble. Well, I guess it ties in with that news article about continuing gardening.
Yeah.
The trouble is it's portrayed as a spring, summer job, when actually right throughout winter there's things that can be done. And as I said, planting spring bulbs, we need to do that now. We need to get compost in the ground, if you're digging over your beds, that sort of thing. And that's where garden centres should be stepping in and sort of saying, well, you need this tool to do this, or this can do this. We sell it and get it.
Yeah, exactly. And also, you'll always get people talking about tulips, and only because I grow tulips, people ask me once they start popping through soil, where can I get some tulip bulbs from? I'm a bit like, well, we should really have planted them last year. You're a little bit late now, but people don't. And a bit like when we first started talking about pumpkins back in, whenever we started the show about a month ago, we got a question about when's the best time to plant a pumpkin seed, because no one preps before. If we talk a lot more about right now about what we can do and what should be happening, and also, like you say, just doing them main, what do you call it, infrastructure
jobs over the winter.
Then don't make coming into February, March time so much easier once them jobs are done.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be doing them, especially if you're sowing seeds and things. You don't want to be also doing them jobs, because that is just an absolute pain.
Yeah, well, let's say you want to build a new bed. Do that over the winter while it's bare and there's less growth going on. You can build it. You can make it look good. You can get it exactly right without having to rush it.
Yeah.
Just because you want to get the plants in.
Yeah, exactly. That I'll tell you one thing. I have been guilty of that for absolutely years. You probably know as well, because I usually tell you, but I'm always doing those big jobs around February, March time. Mm-hmm. I'm also generally building some sort of show garden at the same time. So my garden looks a mess around those times. And then that really does, and that can put me back on sowing seeds and just planting stuff up.
Yeah.
So now is 100% the time to just make sure everything's ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, why do you think, or why do you personally find yourself putting a rush in around February, March time to do all that?
Well, because I don't do it over winter.
But what is it? Why is it you don't do it over winter? Is there anything that you sort of stops you, or what?
Well, for the past, I don't know how many years I've been gardening. Maybe 6-7 years now. Maybe I think 6 years.
Yeah.
For 6 years I've been gardening now. And I think maybe because I got into gardening, and obviously I learned a lot from, mate. I mean, I learned a lot from media in total.
Yeah.
And because that happens, because we have this close down of media, I just thought that was the way to do it. And I always saw my dad. Well, it's also from my family thing. My dad at this time of year, shut down, mate.
Mhm.
He doesn't.
Right,
To be
yeah.
fair to him, he doesn't grow veg. He doesn't really, his garden's already built. It's ready. It's done. But he usually just spent the time in the summer doing it because he wasn't growing veg and he wasn't really growing plants. He'll just go and buy plants from.
Right,
He's
yeah.
a seasonal gardener, so
Yeah.
I've learned that sort of thing from him.
Right.
And so when it usually comes to this time of year, I usually get even a little bit of joy actually from shutting down the garden. This year, I've actually got joy from not shutting it down.
Yeah.
Not that Olive
Yeah, I
quite
mean,
understands that. Olive thinks we are closed for business, but I was like, no, this is still happening, girl.
Good. Good. I'm glad it's still happening. I mean, for me, I find in the summer times, I'm so busy at work that I want to try and make the most of the winter times when I'm less quiet and a bit more bored. So it just gives me that extra thing to do as well.
Yeah. And also, there's nothing better. Like, summer is the time. Like, I love gardening, but I also really, and this is a lot of gardeners forget to do this, is enjoy the garden.
Yeah.
Because we all at it hammer and tong out there, but we don't actually sit back and enjoy it. Or that's a personal, probably me more than anything. Don't just sit back. I'm constantly like working on something. Working on a project or something in the garden.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm guilty of that. Certainly, if I'm outside, I'm doing something in the garden. I don't sit there and just look at what's going on.
I look at it as like a box set.
Yeah,
because I'm watching. This is good. This is a good reference. I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead at the moment, and I'm absolutely hammering the episodes out to get to the end. But with gardening, there should never really be you should never really look. There's no. I mean, every gardener really knows that a garden's never actually finished. Sometimes in the summer, I feel like I'm trying to get to the end of that box set to then sit back and enjoy it, but it doesn't happen.
No,
so
that's actually a really good analogy.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. I've just come out of that, and on top of my head, I am actually really clever, Rich.
Yeah, instead of binge gardening, we should do a bit and sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. And the summertime to do. I think the summertime is that point to do that. So potter around, sow your seeds, tend to them, and then sit back and enjoy. Whereas a winter does feel like it should be, and this is for me. This is what I'm practicing this year. Is that time to get all those major jobs done?
Yeah,
and just prep in the knowledge that in the summer I'll be enjoying it.
Definitely. So what you're saying is that come next summer, your garden is going to be the best garden on the street.
Oh yeah, definitely 100 billion%. Yeah, I'll be just going to look immaculate.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not immaculate, but I need to make sure there's some wildlife areas. But that's a whole other story. But yeah, there we go, man. There we go.
Excellent.
Well, dude, look, have a good week in the garden.
Yeah, I will, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
I'll see you Thursday, mate. We look forward to having you on the show.
Yeah.
Nice one, fella. Thanks for calling in.
Dude. No worries. Take care.
Bye, mate. Bye.
Bye.
Here we go, everyone. Mr. Richard Suggett. Like I say, he'll be on the show on Thursday. We're co-hosting together. You better watch us. We'll be able to watch us watch Ground Force. That's Thursday's show, peeps. That's Thursday's show. Hey, what's going on? This stream and the podcast is sponsored by... I should just say, no, Ian, I've not filmed any other adverts yet. They're coming. They're coming.
Hey, what's going on? This stream and the podcast is sponsored by Flymo. Flymo, your life easy. My nan absolutely loves Flymo, and she was the one that first introduced me to Flymo, the brand Flymo, way back when I first got my new home, because she used Flymo in her garden. Then she bought my mum and dad a Flymo when they got their garden. And then, when I got my garden, my nan bought me a Flymo. It's been in the family for years. I absolutely love it. They're such a great product. They're quality, they're affordable, and they think about how to make it easy for you to go cut the lawn, cut those edges, and do those gardening tasks. So, flymo.com if you want to get your hands on some of their products. Plus, spend over £45 and you, yes you, dear listener, can get free delivery. Oh! Go check it out now, flymo.com. The Skinny Jean Gardener, How to Get Kids Gardening book is available right now. That's right, in all good, well, I'm on Amazon mainly, to be honest with you. On amazon.co.uk or .com, wherever you're in the world. Amazon, How to Get Kids Gardening is available right now. It's a $9.99. Oh yes, my self-published work, $9.99. Let's have a little flick to see what you could be doing. You could be making this, wildflower seed balls. My favourite garden to make. A little bit messy for the kids, but brings some incredible colour to the garden. There's over 30 garden and makes inside this book that you can do with the family to get outside and enjoy whatever space you've got. Amazon.co.uk, How to Get Kids Gardening. Would you like to sponsor and support this stream? Yes, you. Actually, not you, but you. Yes, you. Have you got a product or service you'd like to advertise? Then this is the space for you. You get yours truly to advertise your product in a very unique way. Thanks very much. Plus, get it put in front of literally tens and tens of people. There's at least 12 people watching right now. Probably more. Probably. If you want to get your product or service in front of them, then this is the place to be. Free advert, a show, plus we'll talk about it a little bit after each advert, no doubt. That's free, that's 4 times a week, that's 12 times. Guys, 12 times. If you want to get involved, if you want to support the show, it's not as expensive as you think, guys. It's not expensive as you think. Lee at skinnyjeangardener.co.uk.
Here till 10 o'clock, and the question of, can I get from one end of the studio to the garden to the house? Start again. The question has been answered. Can I get from the studio to the house, put on the kettle and make a cup of tea and get back before the end of the adverts? The answer is yes, at a run. You can call in any point you want tonight. We're here till 10, 0742 357 4520, or click, I'll put a link in if you fancy coming up on the screen. There's a link in the comments, party peeps. Right, I'm going to read through some of your comments. Thanks so much, everyone that's commented. Great chat there. Thanks so much to Rich for calling in, because it always helps confirm my thinking. It is always a learning curve. Where do I put this spoon? We'll put it up there. It'll be there still next week, probably. It is always a learning curve, even for me. Even being a great. No, I'm not really an expert. Mainly get kids gardening, that's fine. But even for me, I'm always learning and always, trying to think of different ways to get Olive out in the garden and enjoy the space we've got. Wildlife's a big thing for me at the moment, this time of year. But just getting those projects done, just thinking ahead. If you think in your head, like next summer, I'm going to be able to sit on a sun lounger, not even with a cup of tea in hand, with a cold drink in hand and enjoy the garden, then have a little potter. If you think that now, then that will happen. If you don't, you leave it like I usually do. Until about the end of March. I said Feb March, but I meant end of March. and then rush everything. I'm sowing seeds. I'm building things. I'm losing seeds. I'm sowing seeds again. I'm planting things up. Just a total rush. It's a rush job. So let's start a massive campaign. Gardening is not just for summer. It's for Christmas too. Let's see what everyone's saying. Good evening to Sean, who is from Kids Do Gardening. Sean, I dropped you an email. It might be in your junk. Go check it out, my friend. Ian says, I need to clear out the tomato plants that are left in the greenhouse so that I can put in the other half's fuchsias and geraniums in. That's from Ian Beddoes, everyone. Finally, the tomato chat could possibly be over from him as he clears his greenhouse out. I'm missing my tomatoes now. I'm missing them. Love the good old tomato. It's funny, isn't it? It's actually got not even on the tomato thing. It's funny. Rich mentioned, I don't know what's going on in your garden. I've got no idea what's going on in your garden. You've not put it on Instagram recently. I haven't put it on Instagram recently, have I? Everyone that follows me on Instagram. I'm not showing you much of the garden. But you could find out more about what I'm up to in my new garden club. Ding! Come 2021. We won't talk about that right now. Steph says, hello, Steph. I bought a lot of seeds through furlough, but I went back to work a lot quicker than I thought and had no time to sow them. That's a shame. But at least you've got them, is the best thing. Like seeds keep for a long, long time. Even, am I allowed to say it? Yeah. Even past their sell-by date, they'll still sow. You'll still sow. They'll still grow. You know, Steph. And to anyone that's listening, just because it says they're out of date, just means they're less. The percentage that they're going to grow is going to reduce. Like obviously, I think seeds have a sell-by date on them because the seeds company want you to 100% do well. I don't think it's 100% every time, but the likelihood of them to grow needs to be up there. And as the years go by, they just very slowly reduce in the number of seeds that will actually grow in that packet. But at least you've got them. They should keep for a couple of years. At least it gives you the winter to plan where you're going to sow those seeds, which ones you're going to do, with the amount of time that we'll have. Ray says, all my tomatoes have just died over this week, whether the frost has killed them or blight. I would have thought it's tomato plants. Probably the weather. I wouldn't have thought you might have frost, Ray. I'm not sure. Can't really remember whereabouts in the country you are, Ray, if I'm honest with you. But I would have thought the change in weather. We've had a pretty dramatic change in weather in the past few weeks, haven't we? My tomato plants were not looking the same. That's why they had to go. They had to get out of here. Get out. Charlie says, I'm cool. You too? Always cool, Charlie. Always cool. Ian says, my grandson Jason loves weeding, but digs everything out, plants and all. That is the only thing with kids, isn't it? They don't know the what's a plant and what's a weed. I've been guilty of that before when I first started gardening. I went to my nan's house. My nan made me head gardener of her bungalow. And I accidentally, not on purpose, whipped out some plants. Couldn't tell you, I can't remember what they were. Which I thought might have been weeds. She said, clear the beds. I cleared the beds. I think she didn't. It was her own fault. She didn't specify where to clear. But again, we're not talking kids gardening tonight. But biggest tip for that is just don't worry about it. It's going to happen. Just as long as they're digging, as long as they're ripping weeds out, you can sort of plant back the actual plants, can't you? You can get them back in the soil. You should be okay. You should be all right. Ray says, hey, Wheeler, looking forward to watching more. Yes, little chat going on here. I was listening to both your podcasts driving up to Blackpool through the night. Cheers. Oh, nice one, Ray. I think you're talking to me. Nice one. Yeah, best of podcast team. If you want to listen, and there is some best of. Lovely Lisa's on today's best of show. Go check that out. Ian says, did Richard say last night that wood ash was good for an apple tree? I don't know, Ian. Did I watch the Richard show last night? I think I caught. Oh, I did catch a few. I catched a few bits of it. I think Jeff called in last night. I don't know if he said that. Maybe Rich can confirm that. And then Ray says at the end that chat made so much sense with Rich. Yeah, which does make a lot of sense. He does indeed, party people. He does indeed. Right. The answer to your question, Ian, is yeah. I think in my own personal opinion, yes, wood ash would be good for apple trees. That's just me thinking on my own with no help from Richard saying yes, he did say that. Phillips Town, no dig garden, how you doing? No dig allotment, what's up, man? Hope you're well. Carl. Carl. Hope you're good. Welcome to the show. It's Monday. I don't know if you can hear the studio roof, but it's raining. Very loud. Absolutely hammering it outside. It doesn't fill me with too much joy. This week is a short week for me because I am heading down to see Mr. Suggett's garden, helping him with his shed. And Wednesday, I'm heading back to where it all began. Off to go and see Mr. Jimmy Doherty. To do a little interview chat just for you guys with him, which is coming in the next couple of weeks. Robert is on the show tomorrow. We've got an interview with him. I can't remember Robert's surname. I'll find out in the next break. And next Tuesday, he's back. Not on the live. It's the first time he's ever been on a live show, but he's back. Mr. Matthew Biggs is coming back on the show. Very excited to hear from him. I'm very excited to have a chat to him. Ian says, anyway, Meringue's on telling you what I'm up to this week, so I'd love to hear you guys from what you've got planned if you're going out in the garden. But what I was also going to say was Wednesday I've got this interview with Jimmy, but in the morning I was hoping in the morning to do just a little bit of gardening. I'm not a gardener for the rain. I happily carry on gardening throughout the winter. Not one for the rain. I know a lot of people probably not a massive fan of gardening in the rain. So I'm hoping it clears up a little bit. But Ian says he'll be cleaning the ash out tomorrow. So we'll put it out or use coal for weeks as we had 2 dead trees cut down this year. So we're putting that. Wood ash is a good source of potash, says Mr. Suggett. Right, Cole's asked a question. Is anyone growing overwinter onions? The last 2 years I tried, all gone to seed. Any ideas why? Cole's asking on the group. If you've got an idea, why Cole's overwintered onions go to seed, call him on 0742 357 4520. Cole will find out the answer by the end of the show. I'm going to carry on reading. You call in anytime you want. There is a link if you want. There's a link somewhere in the comments. What's going on here? Cole, were they? I've never actually spoke to Ray, but let's do his accent. Cole, were they red onions? Cole wrote, I think, is Cole, I feel like Cole's Welsh. Are you Welsh, Cole? I'm going to say he's Welsh. He said, Both? Doesn't speak like that. But overwintered onions are more prone to bolting. Use the bolted ones first, says Suggs on over there. So overwintered onions more prone to bolting. Use the bolted ones first. Sean said, here we go. Thanks for commenting, Sean. Sean said, managed to get out on the lunch break today and started chopping out some large blackberry bushes. Ouch, that sounds painful. Also put about 100 crocus and snowdrops in the grass over the weekend for our nature area. Oh, that's well cool. Good job. 100 is a lot, isn't it? 100's a lot, but brilliant. I always think it's funny when people say, "Oh, I just chucked in like 200, 100 bulbs." Oh, mate, good on you. But I get bored after. I mean, I suppose 20. I suppose 100's not too many once you get going, is it? But good going. Snowdrops in the grass over the weekend. Well, it's funny you say. It's funny you say that. We did talk about snowdrops earlier on in the show, and Ian was thinking about putting some in, and from that I thought, yeah, I'd like to put some in, only because I've been to. I don't know if any of you have been before to. I don't know if it'll be open this year. Where's that place? What's it called in London? Where is it? It's around the corner from. It's around the corner from where the Chelsea Flower Show is. Does anyone know what that garden's called? What is that garden? They always do a. I'm gonna have to Google it. I don't like Googling stuff. I can't wait for you guys to tell me. It's called the Snowdrop Festival. So it's absolutely called the Snowdrop Festival. I just made that name up for a festival in London. Now, where is it? London. Hang on. Does anyone know where that is? I know it's coming to me. It begins with a C. Does anyone know? London. Oh, where is it called? What's it called? Does anyone know on the group? Well, no, it's not Q. Good guess, Sean and Rich. It's not Q. Oh, hang on, it's coming. Civic, not the Civic Garden. C. This is painful, isn't it? C. Why can't I? It won't even come up on this. What is that called? It begins with a C. I can't believe it won't come up. What is that called? This is painful. It's painful just going through it, let alone watching it. What's that called? The C. What the C? What is that garden called? I can't think what that garden's called. Not Chelsea, Ian. It's around that area. What is that garden called? Hang on. Carl, wait, good question. Hang on, wait for that question. What is that garden called? Let's take festival out. Maybe that's throwing it a little bit. I've been there. I've enjoyed it. There it is. It's called. Let me just check. Yep, found it. It's called the Chelsea Physic. Okay, Ian, I'll give you 5 points. That Chelsea Physics Garden. Oh, Richard just found it. The Chelsea Physics Centre. I don't know if it's called the Physics Centre. The Chelsea Physics Garden. It's amazing snowdrops there. I want that in my garden. That's all. That's all I want. I want the Chelsea Physics Garden. The garden that's been there for hundreds and billions of years. Exaggeration. I want that in my own garden. Can we do that? Can we make that happen? That's what I want. Anyway, I want some more snowdrops. Every time I do this show, I end up going away and having to buy some more bits. Snowdrops is going to be one of them. Cardigan Place. Oh, it's a jacket. Right. Carl's asked a question. Another question. Does anyone grow under lights? Well, actually, I know Suggs does. I was thinking of buying a Spider Farmer SF1000. What is... Sounds... Spider Farmer? Oh, Googling tonight. SF1000. Team, I think I'm allowed. Yep, I'm allowed. Team, let's have a little look. If you don't mind, if no one's busy, let's have a little look at what Cole's thinking about having a go at. Where is it? Here we go. Share screen. Boom. Right, let's have a little look then, Carl. I'll have a little look. There we go. That's better. And so, okay. Grow light with dimmer knob, full spectrum, Samsung diodes, 150 nigger. Wow. Well, it looks like a big bit of equipment. I brought. Now, I can't remember what it was called now. I wonder if I can find them. It depends how much light you need, but I brought these little babies. My favourite. Online. By the way, phone lines are open 07423 574 Now, where did I wonder if I've got them in my orders. I won't go on my orders in case. I've ordered. You've been ordering what? But look, he's found it. Hang on. So I had to buy some grow lights not long ago. I think I am. No, 84. I did not pay 84 quid. I did buy some grow lights not long ago. Maybe last year. Because we were growing some house plants in a cellar. First thing, I'm not a big fan of house plants. Second thing, I'm not very good at growing them in cellars. So these things, here you go. It was something like this, right? Worked an absolute treat. 25 quid. Free delivery if you want me. They're not massive. I think they do come in a bigger size. You can get in a bigger size, but I was worried that they'll just the lights will start popping out. The ones we've got, they literally go 24/7 and they're still going. They're still growing. They're still growing. They're still going. I think they were pretty decent. You go check them out if you want to. But the SF1000, let's see what everyone else is saying. Sorry, that should have read I bought it. He's already got them. Well, I personally think they're brilliant. I don't know. Oh, so you have okay, you've got one. All right. Well, let us know how you get on with them. The Spider Farm, but they sound. Well, they must be pretty decent. They're probably better than my £25 ones, surely. Lights work great. I use the IKEA ones to extend daylight hours. I think a lot of people are doing that. It makes a lot of sense. Not use it yet as something to grow under it. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a little bit confused by the comments. Ray has already got the SF1000. He's already got it. But he's not used it yet. Okay. But Carl also said, Ray also says, Carl, I have a video of me unboxing one. There you go. So go check out the garden channel with Ray. Kelly's back. Back, miss some. Kids not settling. They want to play, not go to sleep. Oh, Kelly. Your kids are always buzzing. I've only really known them for like a week. Oh. Oh. The best thing you can do, this would be my biggest parenting tip, Kelly, is if you start a gardening podcast 8 till 10 4 nights a week, down in the shed at the bottom of your garden, so much easier. Hopefully by 10 they'll be asleep. Hopefully you'll go back up, but they'll be asleep. That's my biggest parenting tip. That's the Skinny Jean Garden, the parenting book, coming out very soon. Carl says, hooray. All right. Hooray. Where's Phillipstown? I'm sure it's in. I might. Oh, I'm sure Carl's from Wales. Oh, I'm seeing pictures. Map. Phillipstown in. Well, it's been near someone called Abbey. Hold on. Wales. Boom. Knew it. Carl says, I can't do accent. Let me think. How's Welsh people? How's Welsh people talk? Up? No. I won't do it. Carl says, all right, okay, I'll check that out. There are loads with unboxed on YouTube, but not mention the results after growing. Well, that'll be really interesting, Carl, to let us know how you get on with that. Let us know how you get on with growing your seeds under lights. I think it's a very good point. I know Suggs uses his, especially, I mean, he's always on, but especially in like starting seeds off a little bit earlier next year. Surprising, isn't it? Really noticed it this year. Just how much less light we get the closer we get to the biggest winter day, Christmas. This stream and the podcast are sponsored by Flymo. Flymo.com. I'm going to tell you a little story about Vince. Vince came into my home and basically took over not all, but the biggest gardening task, which, I'll be honest with you, took a little bit of time because usually I'm away. I'm jet setting from Birmingham to Devon, all over the country, which means that when I come home, the first task I've got to do is my lawn. Now, Vince came along and we welcomed him to the family, and now I feel like he's taken over my position in this household, which is not good. Vince, I should add, is my robotic lawnmower. Oh yes, Flymo's robotic lawnmower. Literally, you set it up, there's an app on your phone, you set it up, and every day, all week, however you want to do it, Vince, or the robotic, you can call it what you want, but ours is called Vince, goes out and cuts your lawn. Oh, made so simple. Go check it out right now at flymo.com. Spend over 45 quid, you get free delivery. You can't say better than that, can ya? So yeah, go check it out, get your own Vince. Have you heard? I've got a brand new book. It's not brand new. I know that. It was out in February. But to you, it may be brand new. How to Get Kids Gardening is available right now on amazon.co.uk. Let's have a little flick to see what great gardening makes over 30 that you could be doing as a family. Maybe you could be making stone and spoon markers, because we all know that labelling up your seeds as you put them into the soil is very important. If not, you've got no idea what's popping through when the little green shoot. That could be anything, couldn't it? Make some stone markers. Really simple, really easy, and really inexpensive. All the gardener makes in here, just literally, the costs hardly anything. I don't know how I can say that. Hardly anything, mate. Hardly anything. Come on around. How to Get Kids Gardening. Amazon. Come on that round. Would you like to support and sponsor this stream? Then you can. You can get your product or service in front of people like Richard from Littlehampton or Sean from London, even Lisa in Northern Ireland. Yeah, we're Mr. Worldwide. I think we've got some people from Australia as well. So if you're from Australia, this is the place to be. If you want to support or sponsor the stream, then please get in contact at lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk and your advert could be at this point right now. Final 15 minutes of the show, and he's the man to kill.
Hey mate,
Hello,
right?
Carl. How are we do? There you go. Hello. I can't do the accent. I'm not going to even try again.
It was rubbish, I gotta say. It was terrible. I'm offended.
I try. I try, mate.
I bought the Spider Farmer. Yeah. But I just wanted to know, because there's loads of videos online about unboxing, but none about what the results have been after growing under them. You know, there's nothing much on there regarding that. That's what I wanted to know, really. So I know Ray have gone unboxing one on there, and a few others have, but there's nothing with regards to the results of what they grow like underneath, you know. So, but it's quite bright.
Yeah, what's the story? Oh, crikey. Carl, what made you get one?
Because I miss the gardening in the winter. I want to grow some stuff for the winter. I've got a heated polytunnel now, pretty much. So I'm basically going to be growing salad crops and things like that. You know, pick as you go, as it were. You know, from the leaves and that. I'm going to be doing that for the winter.
That's good, man. How much do you reckon you'll get from that light? Because it's a big old light.
It's supposed to cover 3 foot by 3 foot, so you can put down many amount of plants underneath it, like, you know. So, but it's apparently some of the cheaper versions, like you were mentioning, you might have worked for you, but they don't give all of the light spectrum which the plants actually need.
Yeah, it's not as bright as your ones, that's for sure.
It's just got all the infrared and all the other stuff that is like more of a natural sunlight, rather than you know, the stuff that some of the spectrum of the light is missing in some of the cheaper models. Like, so it was a lot of good reviews on it, but I couldn't find nothing saying what the results of, you know, after growing underneath it. Like, that's what I wanted, really, see if anybody on the podcast knew anything about it, like, you know.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone has mentioned. I know Sagat. He grows over under grow lights, but he's got IKEA ones. He's not gone to the point of what you've got.
Yeah. I've got a tent coming as well. See, so I'm gonna set it up in my bedroom. I've got a spare room, so I'm gonna set the growing area up there through the winter, and then I can just take my transplants down to my polytunnel. I got 6 meter by 2.5 meter wide beds down there, and I'm gonna fill them with lettuce and, you know, just grow through the winter then, like, you know. So I got stuff in the winter growing.
Oh, so you're not going to have that light in the polytunnel? It's going to be inside the house.
So in the house, I'll grow in the house. Look, with regards to these, bring the plants on as much as I can, then transplant them into the heated polytunnel on my plot, and then I can just pick as I want then when I'm ready to go, like, you know. So
you got to be very careful, Carl. You'll get the police round. They'll think your ground's not dodgy.
I know. Well, funny, the Spider Farmer reviews, there's a lot of YouTube videos of unboxing, and all of them have got marijuana.
Oh, really?
In America and places like that, you know. But no, because it only uses 100 watts. So it's loads of LEDs in there, but it only uses 100 watts. So, and there's a lot of good reviews on it, but nothing, like I said, of the results of people growing underneath it. So it'd be interesting if what I was planning to do was make some videos of actually setting it all up, and then every 6 weeks put another video up to see how the progress is of it, you know.
Well, it's obviously needed. If there's nothing out there already, mate, then them sort of videos are obviously needed. I hate when that happens, when you buy something, there's just nothing showing the actual results.
Yeah, exactly. There's loads of stuff in the catalogue saying how good the results and that are, you know. But I want to see YouTube sort of, like, you know, the plants maturing, you know, and the distances as well. You know, I'm a bit sort of you know, is a brochure here. Yeah. But certain plants require certain distance. It's got to be like lowered on these pulleys that they provide you with, which is good, which you can just lower it and lift it, you know. So that's basically the key with it. But we'll see how it goes, and I'll keep you updated.
Keep us updated, mate. Carl, do you usually carry on growing throughout the winter?
I have in the past, like I said about my onions and things. I've always put onions and stuff and garlic and that in, and I've got like crops that I use that are overwintering. I got like cabbage and things like that are in the ground still, and Swedes, and some carrots, which I still pick in, and parsnips. But ultimately, with regards to the onions, every time I've overwintered onions, every single onion I've bolted, and yet through the summer, I have fantastic onions, about £1.5, £2 a week. Some of them nice, decent onions and good, you know, and I've still got a lot of them down here now. But I'm just, every time I put overwinter onions in, I've always had problems. And I'm just wondering if it was something to do with the seed I've picked or the soil or, you know, but, you know, I've sort of answered my question really, because I'm growing normal onions in the summer and I have no problems, not one bolt, but I do grow them from seed. My only onions are from seed, whereas overwintering onions I grow in from sets.
Maybe it's
Maybe
different.
that's the problem. I never use sets through the summer, only in the winter.
Well, maybe next year try sets in the summer and see if they do the same, and then you'll know.
That's it exactly. I'll do that next year. I'll put a few sets in as well. See what happens.
But can't you just grow too many onions in the summer and just store them?
Yeah, I could do, but because I enjoy going down to the allotments, you know, it's just another thing to attend to, and it's growing, you know, because a lot of my family and friends have a lot of my veg anyway, like, you know, so they sort of having free pickings of it. But I have got lots of stuff that I do store for the hungry gap, you know. So yeah, you know.
Nice one, man. Nice one. How often do you get down to your allotment, Carl? Last question.
I'm probably down there at least 3 times a week, but if I can get down there 6 times a week, I'll be happy.
Oh, wow.
The more I get down there, as soon as I walk through that gate, right?
Yeah.
I just like deep breath. It's gone. All the anxiety is outside the gate. I go into the allotment and I'm just a different person. So there's more time I spend in the allotments. I'm a better person for it.
That's what it's all about, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in, Carl.
No,
Carl,
go on.
Carl, before you go, I'll get your address. You can get a VIP card for calling in.
Hey, super.
I'll send one out to you.
Love it. Thanks very much, mate.
Nice one, dude. Speak later.
Ta-ta.
There we go, everyone. Carl is going to be our ninth, although I should remember that I've got to send the card out to Kelly and the kids. Our ninth or 10th VIP member, because Carl always pops up and chats in the comments and calls in as well. So Carl, our 10th VIP member. Kelly, I've got to get yours out of there as well. Should have sent it on the book, really, but chose not to. If you want to become a VIP member of the show, then all you have to do is call in 0742 357 4520, or just click on the link in the comments. Have a little scroll, you'll be able to find it. Right, let's see what everyone's saying. Now, thanks so much, Carl, for calling in. Really some good points made there. I really look forward to checking out your videos and seeing over the next few months how you get on with that, because when I was looking for grow lights, I picked the cheapest one. I lucked out on them. Turns out houseplants don't need as much as I thought. But when I was looking for grow lights, it would have been really nice to actually get to see like brilliant unboxing. This is what it looks like. It'd be really great to see the actual progress, the actual plants growing. Would be handy, wouldn't it? So I look forward to see, because I don't know, how much was it on? I don't know how much it was on. It's about $180. I reckon Carl might have got it a little bit cheaper than that. But you're going to spend out money on those sort of things. You want to know they work, don't you? You want to see the results, team. You want to see the results. Sorry if that was a little bit quiet from Carl. Hopefully you managed to catch some of that. Most of these grow lights and grow tents started from cannabis growers. They swear by it, all I'm told. Well, we're gonna make sure if you're using them, use them legally. We're going to use them legally, and we're going to use them for growing veg. All right? For growing veg. Don't know what I'm talking like that. Don't know. Kelly says, thanks for that tip. Be great if Dan didn't work nights. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kids, I'm going down to the shed for 2 hours. Put yourself to bed, and hopefully by 10 o'clock, the house ain't trashed. But I've managed to twist his arm for a summer house for our wedding anniversary. We've been married 5 years next March. Oh, well, congratulations. We'll throw next March. We'll throw a big anniversary party and in your new summer house. It's absolute winner. Absolute winner for getting one of them. Planning on putting curtains and carpets in there. Dan likes the idea of a summer house because he can go live and chat to podcasts. Well, there you go. Home from home. Home from home. Kelly, you'll be getting card number 9. Let's write these cards out so I know. So card number 9. You're getting VIP card number 9, Kelly. To sign it. Sure. You'll get VIP card number 9. Carl will be sending VIP card number 10 to you. Which means there's only 40. Could still be trying to get rid of them next year. Only 40 VIP cards left. Want to be a member? Call in, get involved. Let's make it happen. Rich says, which this is 100% needed. I will start a comparison video with my grow lights, which will be good. That's what we want to see. Just want to see, is it worth it? Is it worth actually buying these lights? Or is it worth waiting? I mean, one of the things, I use mine because of growing in a cellar. But we talked about this maybe at the start of the year, I don't know. But is it worth waiting now to sow? Maybe we are keen beans. Although, if like Kyle, if you're growing over the winter, God, I'd love to have a nice little heated polytunnel. It's a dream, innit? I don't know how I'd fit one in the garden. Maybe I need to get an allotment, but that is the dream, isn't it? Nice little heated polytunnel. Got your little ceilings starting in the bedroom, spare bedroom, sure. Under a nice little light. Could it get any better than that? To keep growing, keep glowing and growing, guys. I don't think so. So yeah, cool. Anyway, Rich, yeah, great. We get great seeing comparison videos because I do hear from you a lot about yours, and we've seen them also in the back of your shed too. Maybe I'll get some, but the ones I've seen are like purple light, although the ones Carl had was white light, which could be better. That is sort of the reason that you see these god awful plastic plants. I've sort of ruined the illusion now. But you thought it was growing really well, didn't you? Not real chives. Shocker. Oh, there we go. Which is going to start tomorrow. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. It's been good. I've enjoyed tonight's show. I feel like I've done a lot of talking, a lot of chit chatting, but I feel like we've really come down to that subject. I was going to go back to that article, weren't I? Let's go back to that article we were talking about. It's sort of kicked off tonight's conversation about lockdown. Really, what was it? Lockdown lifesaver. Gardening was a lifesaver. Maybe a bit extreme. Actually, probably on point. How does gardening make you feel? Gardening is known as a great way to relax and de-stress. Talk about next summer. I feel thinking about that a bit. 78% of people questioned said it gave them a sense of achievement. 75% left calm and relaxed. 66% said gardening makes them feel happy. And 45% feel at one with nature. Like Carl said during that chat, when he opens the doors, or the gates, should I say, when he opens the gates to his allotment, everything just sort of disappears. I feel that. One of the reasons you don't see so much of me on Instagram now, filming me, hey guys, this is what I'm doing, is because maybe a little bit why I've enjoyed gardening a little bit more. Coming to the end of the year, as I feel like it's my time. I'm not going to perform. Not going to pretend I'm the Flymo King. That wasn't a great time. I'm just hands in the soil, just me. Podcast on. Probably me own. Whatever the weather, I mean, apart from rain, obviously. But just being out in the garden, like Carl opening those gates of the allotment. Just a sense of calm in there. Just love it. Let's continue with the article, guys. Gardening is good for mind, body and soul. Gardening habits have changed with people gardening more and trying new things. Whether that is planting vegetables for the first time, growing new varieties of plants, or getting around to doing jobs in the garden. In an uncertain world, gardening makes us feel grounded and in tune with nature. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. Flowers will always bloom in spring and trees will always shed their leaves in autumn. People are craving normality. And gardening with the seasons gives us the seasons is a whole nother night of chat. Gives us that it is a great form of exercise too. Gets you out in the garden, outside in the fresh air. I sort of very slightly disagree with the exercise part. We'll come to that at the end of this article. Gardening gives you space to think and clear your mind. Definitely, it's a therapeutic to nature, plants, and how to see them grow. I defy anyone not to relax and let the cares of the day slide away into the garden. The survey and many other studies show that gardening is good for the mind, body and soul. With the social prescribing high on the agenda, GPs could soon be prescribing gardening to combat lockdown loneliness and improve mental health and physical well-being. With World Mental Health Day approaching on the 10th of October, we missed it. It was at the weekend. Make a beeline for your garden, get outside and harness the healing power. If you're lonely over lockdown, if you're at an allotment, great. Might see people. If you're lonely over lockdown, gardening's not going to help that, because generally you garden on your own. It doesn't help loneliness. It does help your mental health. The exercise part is depending. It depends if you're doing a big project, if you're moving a lot of soil or anything like that. Generally, it's a lot of bending down. I don't know about you. I'm generalising the gardening world here. Maybe you're saying you're jokingly. I feel like these bad boys have come out there. Generally, I don't feel like I'm getting the biggest amount of exercise. Good to be outside. But generally, don't know. Exercise-wise, can think of better things to do. Just mentally, it's good to get out. I'm just seeing in the comments. Kelly and Charlie are arguing. No, not really arguing. Kelly's right. Charlie, Lee is sending us a card. Stop commenting. Sorry, Lee. I am sending you a card, Charlie. You're getting a VIP card. It's coming your way, all right? VIP cards mean you can come on the show anytime you want and chat for as long as you want about whatever you want. Whatever you want. Right. I know we didn't not long ago have a ad break. I've got to get one more ad break in tonight, and it is that time to have it. So we've missed a few. Look, let's have the ad break. If you've got a question, something you want to talk about for the last half an hour, put it in the comments. This stream and this podcast is sponsored by Flymo, home of the hover. I made that one up myself, but that should be their tagline. Home of the hover glide. That's my impression of a Flymo hover. Glides across the ground. So easy, so simple. I love Flymos because they make cutting your lawn and caring for your garden so easy. Plus, they've got, I'm just looking around the corner here, an easy glide I've got here. I've got a hovervac. Both are brilliant for different sized gardens. Plus, they've got a new easy store, so you don't even have to plug it in. You put a battery in it and you drive about cutting your lawn. No wires. How easy is that? If you want to find out more and see what I'm talking about, then check out flymo.com right now. This stream is also sponsored by How to Get Kids Gardening, my book, Lee Connolly's book, a top 10 gardening book of 2020. Not my words, but the words of the independents. Also, in this book, Lee has brought together my passion of nature and wildlife, along with my love of grow your own. Not my words, the words of Jimmy Doherty, of Jamie Oliver's mate. But let's have a little flick through, see what you could do at home as a family. Maybe you could create this, a bird feeder. That's right, you can create a bird feeder just from a plastic bottle. It's really simple, really cheap, really easy, a great activity to do with the kids to get outside whatever space you've got. How to Get Kids Gardening, available on Amazon for just a tenner. Woo. Could your product or service be in this part of the show, the advertising part here? If the answer is yes, I think you were thinking about it, weren't you? If the answer is yes, then get in contact at lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk. We can talk about saying hello, how you doing? Do you want this? Do you want this pen? Do you? Probably not. It's a digital world now, isn't it? But do you want to buy this pen? Then you can at Pens Are Us. That is just one example of the many advertising talents that I've got. So if you do fancy it on the stream, come support us, come sponsor us. lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk. Final 25-ish minutes left of the show tonight. If you want to call in, 07423574520. It'd be awesome to hear from you. What have you got planned this week? Are you going to go down your allotment? Are you going to get out in the garden? Are you going to maybe just order a few seeds? Maybe you're thinking that far ahead. I don't know. Maybe you had a great weekend in the garden. Maybe your weather was better than mine. Betterer. Maybe it wasn't. It's unlikely, isn't it? Rain, go away. Come again. But just don't come again. Just don't. You can call in 07423574520, or there's a link somewhere, isn't there? I'll put it back in the comments if you want to have a look. Links in the comments. Click on it, get involved, and come say hello tonight. And like I said, a lot of chat about planning. What are you planning? Suckers planning a new shed. It's quite a big project to get done at this time of year. It feels a bit weird for me to not have a project on the go. There's a conscious decision. I mean, I got a lot of projects done over the start of this year. My garden this time last year was in absolute it was carnage. I'll be straight with you. It was a mess. We had a new studio built. We were having new growing areas being built, which meant obviously what's happening. If I look back over my past, so last year we had a studio being built on the allotments. We had to move the growing areas. The year before that, what do we have done last year before that? The year before that, Olive's children's garden got knocked about, and this didn't happen over winter generally. Studio started being built, it didn't actually finish until February. So that happened. The year before that, we had the pergola being built, and that area under there being created. All in February and March time. I don't know why I didn't do it in the winter. I don't know why we didn't. It did make a big difference. And if we are back to normality, in massive inverted commas, next year, I should be in pretty good space to get going. Unless I think of another big project. I don't want to think of another big project at the moment. So that's happening. I should really write a list down of. I'm going to write a list. I've been talking about it a lot, and I don't want to miss out on stuff that's happening. I really want to get some snowdrops. So give me a pen and paper. You can call it any point you want. Here we go. Does anyone know where to get snowdrops from? Love some snowdrops in the garden. Big project, maybe 100. 100 too much? I just really like the idea of them popping out of the grass in different areas, obviously, because the robotic lawnmower is not going out anymore. That is done. Not forever, but he is done for Christmas. It doesn't really. It's good. It would go out, but he'll go out every day or every. I don't really need him to do that now. But when it comes to spring next year, got the snowdrops popping out around. What are we looking like? February, March time, I feel. A bit early. January time. End of Jan, Feb, innit? Anyway, snowdrops. I'm putting it on the list. Snowdrops. If anyone knows where to get some snowdrops from, whack it in the comments. Let me know. We'll call 0742, you know that number. 4235744520. Let me know. 100 is perfect, said Sean. Although it's quite addictive, might have to get some more. I think 100. You reckon 100's enough? I'm going to get 100. There we go, Sean. Then where do you get them from? Where am I getting these? I've got it on my list for me things to order tomorrow. Where am I getting them from? I go to the garden centre. Are you 100? Is something you just pick a bag of 100 up? Something specialised. You got to order them. I can't wait. I'm not actually going. Do you know what garden centre? I have to go visit a garden centre at some point this week. That's it. I think Jimmy's has got a garden centre now, so that'd be interesting. I'll maybe check theirs out. 100. All right, 100 snowdrops are going in the ground. I don't think I'm going to. I'm not going to tell Olive about them. And just over time, they're going to pop up as a surprise. She thinks the garden's closed, so she won't even come out and see. Okay, says. We went to the allotment today. Dan was chopping brambles and grass in the rain. He loves gardening that much, the rain won't stop him. He wants to buy a polytunnel. Can you or anyone suggest a good one? But budget. We have the space ready. But the one he has... But one he is so desperate to have one. They've already made the space for the polytunnel. We could have a little look to see what's about. I couldn't. We'll have a little look in a second. Okay. But I couldn't rate how good they are. I've seen some. I don't know if anyone's seen. He doesn't do YouTube anymore. But Richard Chivers, we had him on the podcast in the year, and he created, or his dad, I think, of his dad or his granddad, built their own. It looked pretty decent. Their own polytunnel. Looked incredible. Yeah, here we go. Look, there's some people commenting about it. Here we go, Kelly. So Richard said, "Don't buy cheap ones." I agree with that. Don't buy a cheap polytunnel because they rip, such as the ones sold in Wilco's. They probably you also don't want one that's going to blow off, fly away. Cheshire Homestead says, "Make a water pipe one. Cost me less than 90 quid." Well, ain't a bad idea to make your own. If you got a bit about you. Ain't a bad idea to make your own one. A water pipe one. You mean like the blue water pipe? Is that what you mean? Not a bad idea. I bet you anything there's some videos online about people making their own. You just need to make sure you get the thick plastic. That's the thing, isn't it? Just make sure make sure it's down. The last thing, the amount, especially over winter, the amount of polytunnels that I see on Insta or just anywhere just being blown away or ripped to pieces and just absolute devastation is really not what we want, is it? So there's an option. He has looked in buying scaffold poles, but quoted 20 quid per pipe. Could you do it with a scaffold pole? Could you make one out of a scaffold pole? Quite expensive, 20 quid a pipe. Isn't it? Could you make one out of a scaffold pole? I'm going to doodle quick. Live on here. Is that pen? Because I was just sitting there thinking that if you made a teepee, the only issue is, if you made a teepee, the only bit you can actually grow in, depends what you're growing, doesn't it? If you think about it, I don't know if anyone's ever been on the allotment and saw a TP styled polytunnel. It depends what you're growing, because obviously you're making tomato plants grow. They have to grow at a bit of an angle. I suppose you could tie them into the poles, tie them at an angle and grow them. I don't think that's not a bad idea. A TP polytunnel. Copyright Lee Connolly. Not for 20 quid a pole though. That's ridiculous price for just a metal pole. I don't think that's too much. You're looking at even for the smallest of Lee Connolly TP styled polytunnels. 60, probably about 20, 40, 50, 70, 80, 900, about 120 quid. That's too much. That's too much. There's got to be a better way. Get the smaller one. 33.7 millimeters tall pipe and 50 millimeters for the pipe. Scaffold and poles are 50 millimeters, and then the 65 millimeter pipe is more expensive. I think we're talking about size of pipes. No. It's the plastic that costs a lot, I found, using blue piping tucked inside the pipe. I'm lost. Cheshire Holmes said, I used 33.7mm pipe and 50mm water pipe. Took photos of it and put up a video up. Okay, there's a video on Cheshire Homestead. Let's have a look at this. I'm gonna have to have a look. We won't play the whole video. How can we get it up? YouTube. Won't play the whole video. It's not really YouTube night tonight, is it? But we'll have a look. Homestead. I don't know. I need to sub here. Don't play that. Do. Let's have a look. Cheshire Homestead. I can't remember. Can you tell me your name in the comments, please? 'Cause I forgot. Or maybe you've not told me. I'm not sure. I now realise what you're... there it is. I now realise what you're talking about the scaffold poles now. So what you put them straight. I still think my TP idea is fantastic. Put them straight, and then you put the pipe, the blue pipe, in them. I get it now. Probably better do that. What else could you do that with? That's all you can really do it with, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a look. Cheshire Homestead, tell me your name. Tell me your name in the comments. Don't really matter. Let's have a look. Have a look at what you got on your YouTube channel. I won't play the video in case you don't want me to play the video, but we're gonna just have a look at your YouTube channel, man. Let's see what we got here. Let's try and find. I don't know how many videos you got. Oh, it's not too many videos. There's not too many videos. So, what's Liam Gallagher doing on there? You see that? Potatoes. But I'm gonna have a look. Which one's the best? Show me. Here we go. Here we go. Look. Right. I'm not gonna play the sound because you copyright me. But then you've got a picture of money done, so I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. The whereabouts is this? Here we go. Look. Here we go. Just to show you what Cheshire Homestead was chatting about. Look at that. Pause. Stop there. The size of that. Look at the size of that pipe. Goes over the bar. That looks well decent. Is there a finished article? Do we get to see the finished polytunnel? Can we see that? So good. Saw the frame. Here we go. Look, here we go. He's inside. Can we see a picture of that? Oh, you can't see it. Wow. There we go. Look at that. It looks pretty decent, you know. So then wooden supports. Depending on how much that pipe is. I don't know how much that pipe is. It's all, Kelly, it's all about the plastic. Which I know you will know. I hear what you're saying. You're saying, Hayley, plastic's the expensive part. How expensive are we talking? What are we saying? Looked good, that poly, didn't it? Looked strong, didn't it? Didn't realise you'd be using such thick blue pipe for the the arch. But no one yet, Kelly, has created the TP polytunnel. No one's brave enough. Probably no one's even brave enough to create the polytunnel. I'm making one next year. I'll be making. Can't keep doing this on the show. Can't keep saying I'm going to make this stuff. Or we need to buy more snowdrops now. Maybe worth it. Look good. Not sure. Again, I'm not sure where I'm going to put a polytunnel. That said, I've got a polytunnel frame outside. I've got the frame. I'm growing up here. I could just put plastic in that. I had an old polytunnel, right? It was all right. It was a metal one, and we used it randomly. We got asked by Gant Rugger, which is a clothing company. They were doing a gardening. God, have I still got it over there? You might have seen it. I had the jumper on the other day. A gardening range, and we built an incredible garden area in one of the shops in London. Also, we did a launch party, which, thinking back to it, was mental. Because we basically put a polytunnel in this awesome warehouse place where it was so weird thinking about it now. They were launching a garden range. If you're watching Game, I'd love to get involved again. We put a polytunnel in a big warehouse, and then people came and had the photos taken. It was champagne-y sort of thing. And me and my brother were like, what's going on here? Anyway, that polytunnel frame has sat underneath the taxi for ages, and I finally got it out to create an area. The reason I haven't got the cover anymore is because it ripped. But I bet you anything, if you ever look on Marketplace, there'll be someone getting rid of a frame of a polytunnel. Appreciate a chat about polytunnels. Lee, you could come and make one for me. Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I'll come and make the very first Lee Connolly copyrighted TP polytunnel. I think it's going to take off. I can't see why it wouldn't work. Look, I mean, right, that's the TP. You can still grow stuff. I can't see any issues with growing. You walk down the middle, you grow on the sides. Tell me one plant that would struggle growing if it was growing an angle like that. Tell me one plant. And then you wouldn't even need to do it with pipe. You could just do it with wood. You could make this is... I'm wasted on this show. This is brilliant. I've got to make one now. I've got to think where I'm going to put it in the garden. I'm going to make the very first TP polytunnel. I said I wasn't going to do it. How have I gone from the start of this show talking about not doing any more projects to Kelly talking me into making a TP polytunnel? Kelly, if you and Dan make a TP polytunnel, you better reference me and pay me literally tens of pounds for the idea, because it's copyrighted. It's copyrighted on this show. Anyone that watches this show who creates one of them TP polytunnels now, you better pay me tens of pounds for the idea. Tens of pounds. What show tonight? I've got, we've got 6-ish minutes left of the show. I've done a lot. I feel like I've done a lot of talking tonight. Thanks, Richard, for calling in. Thanks, Kelly, for your polytunnel chitter chatter. I mean, this is what the job's about, isn't it? This is what I'm going to do, is chit chat gardening. Oh, loofahs! Where's that bit of paper gone? I said this the other day, didn't I? Loofers. And I forgot. As soon as we finished the show, went totally out of my head. Loofers. Seeds. Because I'm gonna... That's something I want to be doing as well. Growing some more. I forgot. I need a proper list. I need to get a piece of paper. I'm going to get a clipboard behind me somewhere. And during the show, I'm going to write on the list what we need. Or what I need. I'm dragging you guys into this. Tomorrow's job, loofers. Loofah seeds. And snowdrops. I feel like a garden centre. A garden centre journey's got to happen at some point. Maybe at the weekend. Richard, just checked. Polytunnels are on Marketplace. Told you. There's one in Colchester for 150 nicker. There you go. I'm going to have to look now. Let me have a look. Where's that? What time is it? Final 4 minutes of the show. Let me have a quick look on Marketplace then. Last 4 minutes. I told you. Like where? I can't remember whereabouts Kelly is. I bet you anything there's one up your way, Kelly. Expensive 150 nickers too much. How much are new ones then? Probably so. £250. Hoops and top bar. Crikey, I stay at that one. Right, this one's. This one chances 200 leftover from polytunnel, plastic and poles. Also 50 meters of bubble wrap to make it a hot room. £250. They're not cheap, are they? This one's the right state, and they want £250 for it. They're joking. The Cheshire Homestead, does the blue pipe that thick bend okay? I think that. Brizzy. Oh yeah, of course, Bristol. Right, let's move me don't know. No. Right, let's go to Bristol. What are we doing? 3 minutes left of the show. Right, let's have a little look. Custom Raiders. How far do you want to go? Let's not go too far. No one wants to travel too far out of Bristol. Bath is not far, is it? Right, here we go. Here we go. Walking greenhouse. Oh, hello. Hello. This is more. Hello. Hello. Now, wow. Brand new, sealed in box. I don't want to get in trouble in case. But this one, it's not a polytunnel as such, more of a greenhouse polytunnel. Might not be what you're thinking. Brand spanking, allegedly. £115. 150. That's pretty decent, that, for £115. Brand spanking. I'll come to Bristol for that. What else we got? Which one have we got? 2 minutes. This one's, again, brand new. What are these brand new ones about? 155. I'll 100% be honest with you. Plastic looks, it says it's thick. Again, doesn't look too bad. I can't really say what the thickness of the plastic is. £155. It'd be nice to get one. They're brand spankers, though, aren't they? That's one in Wales. Wow, look at the size of this one. Oh, no skin. Just the hoops. Bit big for you? A little bit big? £500. I feel like we'd probably looking. I'd like to get a little. Like if I was going to build one, I wouldn't want us to even spend £100, to be honest with you. You can get some big ones though for It depends how big you're going to go. Depends what your budget is as well. This one's pretty big. 60 quid. Just the frame. There we go. That's what you want. Just the frame, 60 quid. Let me know how you get on, Kelly. Let me know how you get on. Love big ones, okay? Would the plastic take off? Our allotment is called Hillside. It's very windy. Yeah, well, the thing is, when you install them, you need to make sure I think you have to dig. You might have seen actually on Cheshire Homesteads, but dug a trench around it, put the plastic underneath it to weigh it all down. And yeah, you'd have to make sure it's fixed down well. Oh, it's fixed down well. There's Polytunnel chat to end tonight's show. Look, thanks so much, everyone, for watching the show tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed chatting to you. It's been nice to speak to you. Tomorrow we've got Robert. I never did find out Robert's surname. Hang on. Not out of, I just don't know. It's just, here we go. Right, yeah, Rob Ross coming on the show. He's a VIP member, guys. VIP member. He's coming on to the show tomorrow. We're going to jam about some gardening. Wednesday, we're back with some chitter chat about kids gardening. If you're going to get the kids out in the garden, we're going to talk about a few different subjects there. And then Thursday, special guest to the show. Big week this week. And VIP member. It's the one, the only, Mr. Richard Suggett. We'll be watching Ground Force once again. Look, have a great day tomorrow. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit drier than as today. Let me know what you've been up to. Go share this. Let your friends know about it. Your mum know about it. Your nan know about it. Your kids know about it. And yeah, join me tomorrow. Once again, 8 p.m. right here. Facilia. Or Pacilia, if you just read it off there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on.
Oh, I can't hear you, Anon. Done something wrong with the thing. Let me know how you get on, Kelly. Anyway, elephant poo is what I got.
Good evening, Lee. How are you?
Great, mate. Your signal is always terrible, but I'm good, my friend. Excuse me. You got an allotment? When I go, don't put artificial grass on top of me, all right?
Are you going to get composted, Lee?
Yeah,